So Dowell, Randy, Michael, and Lester are working to swindle and scam people on the internet. And as they do this, they accuse Brother Barack of the Worship Podcast, Pastor Rufus, as well as Elder Becker of things. Well, these accusers are guilty of a lot of things that they are doing or are associated with or of. How so, you may ask? Well, it's obvious that you have all this evidence out here of the defendant's side, and then you have critical thinking, research, analysis, and for those, depending where you are in the faith, either it be given to you or you seek it in prayer. Because you was told certain things, and some of you went back into the mess. You left straightway to go into another cult. You listen to all this information about how a cult leader behaves, and you still want to go listen to another cult leader and another cult follower. Oh, X-Straightway members, who is bewitching you? You have all this information in front of you, and you believe these lies, gossip, and slander about these brothers in the faith, especially about Brother Barack and Pastor Rufus. You have these two giving mini videos and information, and Elder Becker stepping forth giving information as well too. And you still listen to bull-faced liars? You listen to sociopaths, to psychopaths? The question has to be asked. Do you have the Spirit? Are you born again? Can you try and test and prove yourself to see whether you are in the faith? How you go listen to someone who's born again and then turn around and go listen to a bunch of zombies? The Walking Dead. Oh yeah, you heard that it was told to you what to do with other ex-members? Well, when someone's got the nerve to want to take someone else's life, that's a serious sign that you need to get away from them. And you should know better than to sit there and get in your flesh and use the wrestling of your flesh to try to say, oh, well, Myke, you just need to stop doing that. Okay, you have reproved yourself. Just stop. Really, Pammy? And the rest of you there? You let a so-called brother, so-called, expose Dowell, get in the Worship Podcast, then shortly afterwards crash out, and he starts pulling down videos, and then turn around and trying to come against the Worship Podcast, Pastor Rufus, and then come against Elder Becker, and as effeminate as Michael is, any other ex-straightway member out there? Seriously, these individuals here, you listen to them and they're not obeying the scriptures. You listen to a bunch of sociopaths and psychopaths. Especially Randy. The hypocrisy is all over the accuser party. All over them. And you still listen to them after you've been told they are in the wrong. They have a lot of issues. their spiritual conditions are bad, and they have a lot of criminal intentions and activity going on, and still you go over there and hit the comment section to shut them out and say, hey bro, and everything else. You really need, that's right, you really need to think about it. Everything you say and do, how is it going to help you when you stand before the judgment bar of Yeshua HaMashiach? Now let's borrow some general understanding that applies to in real life. You ever realize how scammers, as well as crisis actors, especially COINTELPRO agents, controlled opposition, and all these type of deceivers out here run their scams? Do you remember the last time you watched reality TV? Where the people were crashing out and everything else, having a fit at each other like, trying to get each other type of attitude. Anyone ever watch wrestling, UFC, professional sports where they have such serious beef, and afterwards they're cool? Man, it's real silent right now, isn't it, huh? Real silent, huh? So tell me how all these individuals can have beef, all four of them, to some extent. I don't know what was between, if any, was Randy between Lester, but Michael, the proof is right there. Michael's still cool with Randy and still cool with Dowell. After he just got through so-called exposing Dowell. Exposing Dowell so bad that there's going to be a mass expose. And stuff that he boasted about, right? The silence. Yeah. How about the silence, huh? And let's go for the old school exposure right here in this. You ever watch the movies and they show how they do all these money deals? All these deceptive individuals? How they can just pay people off? They can throw money at someone to go cause trouble and so forth? And you think that just only happens in the movies? Where do you think they got some of these based on true events and non-fiction stories, huh? Because there's demons out there. They inspire individuals to do crafty consoles and crafty devices, as well as secret combinations. You know, like how you watch those movies, TV shows, and whatever you used to watch or read about. People go behind the scenes and they'll be evil and come up with plots and schemes, how they're going to go out there and cause trouble and deceive a lot of people. You know, especially the classic, good guy versus bad guy stories. How the bad guys come up with power, position, authority, whatever it is, or supernatural power, and they go either control, deceive, or manipulate the masses. And the good guys gotta be able to maneuver that and have a moral character about himself and be able to overcome the obstacle either by skill, character, talent, ability, and especially supernatural powers, in those type of versions out there. and whatnot. Even in movies, right, where they, where they make it realistic, right? Where the bad guys, they got a bunch of lies and a bunch of forged evidence, and they can deceive their followers to do whatever. And the good guy's like, wait, hold up, not so fast. And he's over there fact checking the bad guy and proving the bad guy wrong. And everyone's looking around like, what? You mean to tell me that so-and-so has been running dirty? Yeah. Yeah, the head honcho there has been running dirty. Big time too. And people are surprised. They process it. They give us some time. And then afterwards, the bad guy goes down. And the good guy wins. So, why am I mentioning this? Because look, when there's corruption and money is involved, the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Dowell is a millionaire. Randy has a bunch of money. Lester, he's got connections, and he's trying to hide his scams. He's trying to hide his history of scamming people and grifting them. Michael, he's getting paid underneath the table. And there's the other area too where Dowell probably has some dirt on him too. So Michael could be in one of those situations where damned if he doesn't and damned if he does. But he wants to get out here and accuse Brother Barack, Pastor Rufus, and Elder Becker. Well, Michael needs to get his own ducks in a row. Michael needs to get clear of his own dirt before he can get out here and try to so-called get the specks out of people's eyes when he's got a bunch of beams in his own eyes. Makes you wonder, huh? But all of you can't see this. All of you are just like, that brother Myke, that Myke right there, he's just, we just need to, fill in the blank and fill in the blank. And you're over there listening to his lies, his gossip and slander, hitting the like button, the comment section, and still co-sign with that mess. And everyone else got away from him. But you, who still listen to him, you need to smell the herbal coffee and wake up here. Yeah, they have coffee, but they have coffee alternatives out there. It's good if you get, you want to get on the herbs and the medicine and get off caffeine, that, for whatever reason it may be. Or take a break from caffeine at least. So you don't get addicted and hooked onto it and had to get that demon cast out of you, So yeah, Michael, just like those who are in the, let me show you the depths. Because you're not supposed to be ignorant to the devil's devices here, okay? Dowell, he studies politics. He talks about political strategy. He talks about politics so much here and there and so forth. He's got all these books and so forth. And he has hours each day to do whatever he desires, while everyone else gets to work their fingers to the bone and only receive $50 a month for each hit in their own, unit, their own household. So-called household, Because Dowell pretty much runs all the households. And if he sees someone else's wife, he'll pretty much take her and then kick the guy out and talk trash about him. After he's had his way with her, he doesn't like her, just throw her to the curb and let someone else have her. Like Mir, Corey Phillips, Clown False Lips. And some of you guys who've been on the, on the celibacy program for years on end. So Dowell, he studies a lot of politics. And politics after the works of the flesh, witchcraft being one of the works of the flesh. Dowell uses witchcraft from politics. How so, you may ask? Well, it's pretty simple. A lot of your politicians out there are part of the, these secret societies, Satanist circles, and everything else. They, just like George Bush Sr., are trying to bring forth a satanic new age. The Antichrist system. They're trying to bring their version of the New World Order. And how so? Everyone's stuck, pretty much, when they get into government. If someone's a senator, a president, vice president, chancellor, you name it, whatever country, they're caught in the snare. They're trapped. They get paid if they do their job and they do it good, right? Or they get lined up if they don't do their job. For example, one person in one government of one country cannot do their job and get lined up and go get put out of office. They get exposed. What's in the Epstein files gets pulled on them, and then they get thrown out there, right? Come on now, Trump, release the rest of the Epstein files. Stop toying with the Iran war, and let the rest of the files come out now. Come on now. Oh yeah, and Dowell used to be a really big Trump fan, and then he switched up, right? And let's not forget here too, the old school stuff that happens. They disappeared. They had some mysterious circumstance just took them out, right? They just woke up one day and they had whatever happened to them, and they just say, well, it's a mystery. Oh, and they make up some silly claim like, oh, it's just natural cause. Natural cause is what they would try to put out there in the news, even though they were healthy and so forth. Now, if a country rebels, what's his name? Snowden, if I remember correctly. It was in the movie Snowden, or somewhere in the lines of in that range. It was revealed if one country decides to not do its job, all the other countries will turn it and get rid of them. Then that country will go off the map, nuked, weather system, invasion, you name it. And let's not forget political hitman. Yeah, they can send some special people to go reform their government in a special way. especially their economy and everything else. Whatever they can do to get them out of the way if they don't want to do their job. You see where this is going here now? So let's say, for example, if America says no more and refuses to do its job, then, political Zionists can say okay, and they can pull their blackmail and all these other terrible things on them and so forth, and hand it to the other countries and be like, here, get after it. And America as a country would go either tank or get wiped out, or anything else of the similar effect of being, dealt with. Same thing with Japan and so forth. If Japan says no to the deal and they want to back out and be their own country, yeah, the rest of them are going to turn on Japan and get rid of Japan. So why am I taking my time on this? Because you got to know what it is. You got to know what's going on here, people. All this deception, all this hypocrisy. You're over there hitting the Cash Apps, the PayPals, the Venmos, and helping them stay monetized and so forth, including Michael with his $1 here and there a month from his monetized channel. Yeah, but he so-called wants to push truth. And so-called expose all this mess out here. Then Lester, with his Born Again Israelites YouTube channel, he's definitely trying to make his money by, grifting people and lying to them and deceiving them. Dowell is a infiltrator. Randy is a byproduct. Michael's a byproduct as well too. And Lester, he's a imposter outside the gate. And they all can run coordination. One place to the left, the other place to the right. One place Republican, one place Democrat. You see? Oh, and by the way, Michael and Lester here are, you can say, are, in joint filing here because they've been happily indoctrinated. Go figure. So with this here, they really are running political style scams on you people. Right in front of your face. And because of their traits and behaviors and the manner of spirits that they operate by, after you hear one side for long enough and then hear them and see what the so-called information they try to bring out, it's garbage. What Dowell, Randy, Michael, and Lester bring out, it's garbage. And it's witchcraft too. Personally, I have seen Dowell, Michael, and Lester do the witchcraft on people through YouTube. Randy, I don't listen to his garbage. He tries to say, oh yeah, Trump and this New World Order stuff here and so forth. Well, duh, because he's part of their New World Order that they, the Satanists, want. Because he's an agent among them. I say like that because some of you Randy fans of the Covenant Homestead, you need to get a drift. You need to get a clue here. If this is your first time hearing this, now you know. Randy works with Dowell, and they both try to plot a scheme, help each other out, do what they can, keep the connection, and keep it going. So this whole time, evidence versus accusations, it's really hard to beat. And look at it. This is how goofy and uninformed it is. They are digging into the loot, doing each other favors. Even trying to play enemies, but they're really on the same team. And here's the thing. Michael would accuse Pastor Rufus of doing something that obviously is a lie. However, Dowell took the $300 worth, the $300,000 worth of silver from a widow. And Dowell is a multi-millionaire. So what's he go do? He pays complete clowns like Michael to go accuse Pastor Rufus of doing that mess. And you people get in the comment sections and you watch those lies and just hit those like buttons. It's really sad. Brother Barack, Pastor Rufus, and Elder Becker's been putting out hours of information out here, and you turn around and believe that garbage over there, coming from Dowell, Randy, Lester, and Michael. And don't worry, Jesus knew those who would not believe. And the Father knows those who are, not of His kingdom, who are contrary to His kingdom. Those who will listen to false prophets and everything's been done for them. And it was told through Jeremiah, do not pray for these people. When they've been given over, they want to believe a strong delusion, a lie. They want to man worship these four individuals. And they especially want to get into their flesh and open themselves up to a reprobate mind to do all types of evil. All you can do is just keep it pushing. There's all these other millions of people out here in this world. And if the handfuls of you will listen to these liars, you will listen to psychopaths. Psychopaths who just want to grift and take your stuff, and at the same time play God, when they are mere mortal material males. And they will fall as heads. Let me give you some receipts here on Michael, so you know I'm not making this up here. Fair use for doing public domain. All rights mentioned on the channel was declared and not declared as well too. Michael F. here declared that Worship podcasts and reactions, as well as others out there, are content creators. Well, here's the thing. Myke, he puts out inflammatory videos for clicks and views, and he's monetized as well too. I'm going to show you briefly. So these are views all the way back to October. Now, earnings. This is back in March. He earned $1. In March 26th, he also earned $1 as well too. Now here's the analytics right here. They're 3, 2, $1.08.
I've just been informed, and now I'm informing you. As of right now, 8/28/2025, Charles Dowell Jr., Pastor Charles Dowell, has been suspended. He is no longer to collect any funds. He is no longer to collect any tithes, or any offerings, effective immediately. The tithe has been done away with when the Levites was done away with. What are you doing? Manipulating people in the tithing. And you...
Hey, yo, Dowell, Charles Chucky, Pastor, Dowell's your title. You need to apologize to my wife, man. You let that fly out of your mouth, man. You need to apologize to my wife. That's wrong. Now, I found out more information. That video was, I guess, a couple years old. And I saw the beginning part where you said something about me. I was like, okay. I never watched it. And I didn't know that all went together. I thought it was just a whole separate video. So now I got more information. And you need to apologize to my wife, man. Just come out and say something like that, man. You need to apologize to my wife, and you need to make the effort to apologize to her. Or here's an option, man. I'm really busy. I'm just where I got to be Monday. I got one place I got to be Monday morning that I can't get out of. But I could probably cancel everything else the rest of the week. And I'd be right there in Lafayette, Tennessee. Not to be jumping bad, I'm the baddest, but I'm just a man. And it's a man thing. I can be down there in that town square in Lafayette, Tennessee. You can say that to my face. If you want to, that's the way you want. Because I never saw the video of you was talking to me. So I guess you just...
You know why Pastor Dowell doesn't talk about me no matter what I say? He don't never snap back at me like he do these other ones. He don't never. Because he knows I told the truth. And he knows that I was a good brother to him. I bet he will acknowledge that if you ask him. Yeah.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No boys.
I was one of the best brothers to him in being honest, truthful, and being supportive. And he knows that he let me down. He don't say nothing. He don't say nothing. I talk about him, talking about why. I talk about all of them. He don't say nothing back, man. I ain't gonna talk about no more, but he don't say nothing back. Why? You ever ask yourself why? You don't clap back at brother Myke. Well, I speculate that's why. But
something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much.
you know why Pastor Dowell doesn't talk about me no matter what I say? He don't never snap back at me like he do these other ones. He don't never. Because he knows I told him the truth, and he knows that I was a good brother to him. I bet he will acknowledge that if you ask him. Yeah.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, you see that right there? Tampering with evidence. Obstruction of justice is a federal offense, PC 135, with a 8 to 10-year minimal because of nature of additional crimes from the offender and associates. That includes Dowell, as well as Mr. Keep My Hands Clean, Lester. Yeah, Myke deleted this group of videos here where he's making multiple threats against the life of our brother. After Michael got on the Warsheep podcast for an interview to give a so-called testimony, he turned around and made all these threats against Brother Barack, telling him how he's going to get his cousin who boxes or whoever, how he's going to get his ghetto family members and so forth and stuff like that. And he tells them like, hey, look, they're going to the Texas airport, go meet them and everything else. And then Myke makes this other video right here telling them all this reckless stuff about telling them to stay in the house and that type of mess. This is Michael's own words right here.
Oh, looky here. He got a channel that does nothing but defame character. And y'all gonna see, and he gonna send me a cease and desist letter about defaming his character. Well, here's your character, Hebrew. This is what your character done got you into. You stay, until I get a hold of these people, stay in the house. That's a damn shame I gotta protect this idiot. Well, I'm protecting other people too. Yeah, listen to this.
Saying about him going to Texas, I missed on. I had to read something real quick. You were saying...
Here we go. Here we go.
What were you saying about him going to Texas? I missed on. I had to read something real quick.
Stay in the house, Morsi.
Well, I know at one point we was talking about going to Texas.
No, I'm talking about right now. When I told you.
If he is, I know he has his brother. I don't know what city. He has not posted anything about going to Texas. I have my little sister just pull up his Facebook page and look to see if there was anything. She said the only thing he posted was that his phone was broke and he'll get a new one.
Well, if he going down there to get dirty, he ain't gonna be posting nothing about it. But
Well, he was supposed to have a fight. He was supposed to have a boxing match. She said he was supposed to have one in Canton, and then he was supposed to have one in like Louisville or something like that. She said those are the only thing he's been posted about, and then he posted something about one fight got canceled, but he didn't say which fight.
Oh, okay. I just don't want him going down there getting in no trouble. I mean, if this dude want to step up, I'll put 20 grand on Mikhail. They can show up with 20 grand, but it ain't gonna be one of them kind of fights, you know. So many different kind of fight.
Yeah, again, how's Myke got all this money all of a sudden? But he's working at... Yeah, let's talk about it right now. After the research, shout out to the Worship Podcast Task Force there, the members of it. Michael F. is so fake, it's funny. Yeah, let's just call him Michael Fake, huh? Because here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. This broke, dusty, zusty, rusty, crusty beta male who wants Victoria so bad that he would... Let me jump to another video here so I can give you the emphasis. Yeah, so I'm going to borrow this right here from a movie. Fair use, fair dealing, public dominion. All rights mentioned, not mentioned. So it's declared or not declared.
Repeat the following, verbatim. I'm sorry I was so rude before, but it's difficult for me to express myself when I'm on the verge of exploding in my pants.
That's right, Michael is so demonically possessed, infested, and influenced that every time he wants to go mess with Victoria, who obviously does not want him, he's on the verge of exploding his own pants. Seriously, he can't stop thinking about Victoria H. He calls her sister, but obviously he's full of lust. So this devil, Michael here, he works a so-called truck job that hardly makes any money at all. So the plot of land he's got, with all those animals and so-called grandchildren that he supposedly attends to. I mean, Michael likes to accuse people of child custody. Well, does he have custody of his grandchildren and everything else? Does he take care of them? Or is he too busy making videos for Dowell and Lester? And Randy sometimes, if he can, to show that he's cool with him too. Because the narcissist will tell you what they're about. They'll go over there and dress it up. And it's a sad thing that the rest of us are in real life, and these individuals over here are in a demonic fantasy world, and they are trying to live it at the expense of others. So it's common sense here almost, shall we say, a general understanding. If Michael F. is hardly making any money below the taxation, that's right, below the taxation limit, then he's getting his money somewhere to come up with 20 grand to go put on someone as a bet and potentially go pay someone else to do some criminal activities and so forth. Yeah, it makes you go wonder now, huh? Because that's how it is. If he's getting this money, where's he getting his money from? But you want to go over here and defend him as if he's justified? No, not so. As I mentioned earlier, Michael, his money's not clean. He's got dirty money. If he can get paid some massive stacks by the grands, by the thousands, to go be a complete clown on YouTube and spread lies and bear false witness, and Lester can go out there and pick on the camps, and Dowell can pretend to be Hebrew to target the camps as well too, so he can go loot people as well on top of it. And Randy's just doing his thing behind the scenes, behind the background, and so forth. These scammers are rolling in the money. They're in the bank big time, and you're still over there trying to get in the comment section, give them your money, give them your time, and give them your energy to support them. Seriously, this is a wake-up call. And let's be realistic here, okay? Or for real. Dowell took all that silver worth. That would be about $300,000 today. So if he's got that money worth, and if he can find a couple of Judases to pay off, to go line some people up, to do a Judas on them, how do you not know that Myke has got some of that dirty money? How do you not know that Myke has some of that widow's money? But that hypocrite wants to get there and accuse Pastor Rufus of taking that money? Man, you see the hypocrisy and the witchcraft here? And the lying and so forth? And just earlier before all this, you believed everything that came out of their mouths. It's really sad. It really is. And for those of you who need to know, go look up on YouTube. There are testimonies of people who have had experiences of going to the kingdom of heaven, as in seeing heaven and what's up there, and what's going on in the spirit world, all the great and glorious stuff. And then go look at the testimonies of people who went to hell, who went into the spirit world to go into a place of misery. For example, there's a man in the faith, like a Christian pretty much, for what he learned in his situation and in his position. He said that he went to hell for a couple minutes, but time is different there, and he was going into detail the torment that he'd been through in there. And this is only warm-up, and it's only for the lesser offenders. See, for him, what he went through is, to recall some of it properly, he went through a black hole, like a portal. He went to the other side, ended up in hell. He went into a cage or like a holding cell. There's two demons that looked disfigured and asymmetric. Weird looking things. One of them snatched him up and threw him against the wall. And he felt some pain from it, from being thrown like that. And then the other demon snatched him up and started blaspheming the Father. They turn around and start, open up his chest cavity. Kind of like the Slender Man, huh? Open up his chest cavity and, taking out his organs. And he's going into detail about this whole situation, where there's no life in hell, so he doesn't, so-called, leak fluid when he's being torn, open up like that. Then he was, suffering thirst, suffering sleep deprivation, tiredness, sleepiness, suffering hunger as well too. And he's suffering the pain as well in there too. He can feel darkness go through his body. And people were being in so much misery in there that all they can do is wail and gnash their teeth. And they were separated from each other. And that place was so dark, they could hardly see. They could hardly see their own head in front of their own face, and so forth. And he's being tormented. He's been, in desperation for a long time, a good amount of time there. And eventually, Jesus pulled him out of that place. They pulled him up and explained to him that he partially experienced some of that pain from being thrown to the wall to keep from feeling the full brutality of the agony and suffering in there. And the man was explaining that it gets worse and worse in that place for those who are in deeper sin. And the book of Revelation warns about those who make lies and love lies. So if you see a brother or sister who's making lies or loving lies, you could do the least you can and tell them that was wrong, and inform them so that they can repent, perhaps, and pray for them too. Now, these four individuals, people have tried to work with them, especially trying to help them to repent. Randy, he was on the Worship podcast a few times, at least twice. He only got in there to promote his brand. Then he got in the comment section mocking someone like it was fun and games. He was given a link to go up there and speak for himself. He did not get on. Instead he got roasted in the comment section. And Lester from the Born Again Israelites, he got on the Worship podcast at least once or so during a Saturday stream. He had a chance to press a link to get in there and speak for himself. Instead, he was in the comment section just starting trouble, just, going at it after it with his fingers, trying to sow discord, sow confusion. Nowhere did he get on to speak for himself. And let's not forget, Dowell had a couple of opportunities to get on the Worship podcast to request a link to speak for himself. Myke as well too, and the rest of those other puppets who are still part of Straightway, and as well as part of the Born Again Israelites cult as well too. They had their opportunities to get on there and speak for themselves, and they refused to. And you have these so-called boasters who, when it comes to confrontation to contend for the faith, all of a sudden they want to run and be chicken, to be cowards. They had all that talk, but when it came to talking to someone who's anointed, got power, and walking out to the Ruach HaKodesh, all of a sudden these tough guys want to hit the traces. These internet tough guys. Yeah, it's gonna take a good moment there to, if you're serious, to repent and walk in the newness of life, to bring forth fruit of righteousness, to bring forth fruit meet unto repentance. Because you gotta stop going with this mess here, or you will join them in hell and the lake of fire. The way it's going right now,